Yeah, so I honestly think she seems like a pretty easy client. I had the intake with her and she told me a bit about it. Like it seems like she just wants to work on fighting in her home life, which is like, you know, I think normal 18-year-old stuff. She lives with her stepdad, her mom, and her younger sister. I think her sister's like 10, so it sounds like there's a big age gap, but other
Okay.
than that, yeah.
And what is home life for her right
Uh,
now?
she was just saying like, you know, chaotic and overwhelming, which I feel like could be, you know, a bunch of factors. She's 18, she's in her last year of high school, and
Okay, chaotic and overwhelming in what sense?
um, she was talking about her stepdad and the relationship, and it seemed like there was definitely an issue there. We didn't really get into it just because obviously like intake we kind of had to move along, but I don't know, like yeah, she actually did seem a little bit kind of disheveled. I don't know, she was like wearing like a really thin coat. I guess that kind of occurred to me now. She just looked kind of like frazzled, more frazzled than an 18-year-old should maybe look, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And there was one other thing that I wanted to talk to you about actually that was kind of weird to me was that she asked to change her emergency contact, and initially she said it was easier to reach this other person, but it had been her mom who was the emergency contact.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
This could be something worth looking into a little bit more.
Yeah.
When she said chaotic and overwhelming, I'm
Yeah.
wondering if it could be an atmosphere of abuse or neglect at home.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be hard to come into a first session and just say, you know, my stepdad's abusive.
Yeah.
But these kinds of descriptions can often sort of point to other directions that might be worth looking into.
So you think it's kind of a red flag?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never dealt with like anything like that before. I mean, she said fighting, but you know, I don't think I didn't make me think of abuse. Like I thought, you know, when I was fighting with my parents at 18, it was like no big deal. I don't know, but maybe I missed that. I really had this. The one strong feeling I got was just like she didn't get along with her stepdad, but how come, you know, like is that? And I actually know of her stepdad. He's a researcher at the university, and he's like a really nice, like well-respected guy. So I just didn't think of abuse, I guess.
Yeah, good points. Whether you fully believe your client or not right now, you'd have to go ahead and report if there's a reasonable suspicion of abuse or neglect.
Yeah.
You do have to stick with your client and make sure you aren't bringing any of your own sort of assumptions into the mix. Just because their stepdad's a researcher doesn't mean that he's not capable of also being abusive in the home.
Yeah.
And also, you know, fighting with your family may not quite resemble the fighting that she's talking about in session. So you just have to be a little bit careful about how you interpret language going forward.
That is a really good point. I guess I really overlooked it because, yeah, as I said, I don't know, my family's fighting was like stupid arguments, but I'm just like, now that we're talking, I'm thinking about, she didn't look very well taken care of, and she looked a little distracted.
Yeah. You need to be able to address these things in session, so I'd really listen carefully for that next session. Maybe ask her to describe her family life in a little bit more detail and really sort of lean into the possibility of neglect or abuse. That should sort of be a priority, I think, going forward.
I will definitely look for that next session, yeah. That's a really good point.
Yeah, no, sounds good. And while you're at it, maybe you could review the Child and Family Services Act, and that might just sort of sensitize you to the possibility of abuse or neglect. Sort of refresh on that.
Yeah, it's true. Like, and I should probably go back over limits of confidentiality with her, because when I said that, she was quick to change her contact.
Right. Yeah, that would definitely be a good thing to go back over.
Okay.
Good. I think we're sorted.
All right. Thank you.